Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is Charan. In this video I will show you in MVC web API how to insert records into multiple tables using stored procedures in SQL Server Management Studio. And here we got the final output, the header tags to insert records into multiple tables using stored procedures in web API. Let's insert the values, the country name, state name and city name. I'm adding the country name India, a state name is Karnataka, and the city name is Bangalore. Let's insert the records. Insert values, and here we got a message, values inserted successfully. Let's check in the database table. First we'll check the city table. We have inserted the record in the city table in the Bangalore. Let's execute. See, here we got the city name Bangalore is inserted successfully. And now the state table, the state is Karnataka. Let's execute. See, here we got Karnataka. And the last one, the country table. Execute. The country is India. That's it. We have consumed web API in MVC to insert records into multiple tables using stored procedures. If you are a first time visitor to my channel, please subscribe to get the latest updates. Before writing the coding part in MVC web API, first we'll create a new tables in this SQL Server Management Studio database. Let's expand the root folder as well as the databases folder. I want to create a new tables in this new DB database. Right click select the new DB database, new query, select that one. Let's create three tables. Create table. The table name is the first one is a country table, and this table contains, just for the demo purpose, I'm adding only two columns, CID, which is a country ID, integer type, not null. I'm adding primary key, and as well as I'm adding the auto increment column, which is the identity 1,1, CNAME and varchar 150. After that, the next table is a create table. Second one is a state table, semicolon, SID, integer type, not null. I'm adding primary key, identity column 1,1, sname and varchar 150, and the last table name is the city table. Create table city. Let's add the C capital, city ID, integer type, not null, primary key, identity column 1,1, and city name and varchar 150. Let's create the tables country, state and city in this new DB database. Execute, and here we got a message, command completed successfully. Let's expand the database new DB as well as the tables folder. Let's refresh the tables folder. So now we got the city, country and state tables are created in this tables folder in new DB database. Let's browse the tables. Right click the city table, select top 1000 rows, and the next one, the country table. Let's browse the select top 1000 rows, and the last table is the state table. Select top 1000 rows. Right now these three tables, state, country and city tables, contains 0 rows. Let's create a stored procedure to insert records into these three tables. In the same new DB database, come to the bottom, there is a programmability folder is there. Expand that one. In this programmability folder there is a stored procedures. Highlight the stored procedure, right click the mouse, new stored procedure, and here we got the default stored procedure. I'm deleting the default stored procedure name I'm adding multiple tables insert is the stored procedure name. After that, I'm adding parameters. CNAME is for the country name 150 at SNAME and varchar 150 at city name and varchar 150. After adding 3 parameters, in the statement there is a default select statement. I'm deleting that one. Instead of select statement, I'm adding insert statement. Insert into the table name is a country table name, and the column name is a CNAME, values at CNAME, the parameter, semicolon, insert into the second table name is a state table, SNAME is a column name, values at SNAME is the parameter, and the last one is a city table into city table. City name is a column name, values, I'm adding parameter city name, semicolon. That's it. Let's create a stored procedure, execute, and here we got a message command completed successfully. Let's check in the stored procedures folder. Is stored procedure multiple tables insert is created or not. I'm expanding the stored procedures folder. Let's refresh. See, here we got the multiple tables insert. Now let's execute the stored procedure to insert some records into 3 tables. I'm selecting the new DB database, right click the mouse. I'm selecting new query from the pop-up menu. To execute the stored procedure, there is a keyword called exec execute, and the stored procedure name I'm adding multiple insert. This multiple insert takes the parameters CNAME, SNAME and city name. All three are string types, so I'm adding single quotes. The first one is India, comma. The second parameter is the SNAME, which is a state name, Telangana, and the last one, which is a city name, Hyderabad, semicolon. Let's execute the stored procedure, execute, and here we got the message command completed successfully. Let's check. This India value is inserted in the country table, the Telangana is inserted in the state table, and the Hyderabad, which is a city name, in the city table are inserted or not. Here the state table right now is 0, so let's execute. See, here we got the state name is Telangana, the country name is India, execute, we got India here, and city, execute, we got Hyderabad here. For this video tutorial, I'm creating the new web API application. Go to file, new project, and from the web templates I'm selecting ASP.NET web application, and the .NET framework I'm using 4.6.1. the application name is web API insert multiple tables is the project name. Click OK. And from the ASP.NET templates I'm selecting web API. Click OK, and the project is created successfully. Let's close this default window, open Solution Explorer. Now in this project I'm adding ADO.NET Entity Data Model. I click the project name, add. I'm selecting ADO.NET Entity Data Model. The item name of the model, multiple tables. Click OK. And from the model contents I'm selecting the first option, EF Designer from database. Click next. Let's create a new SQL Server connection. New connection. I'm adding SQL Server name. After adding SQL Server name, now I'm selecting the database name. The database is a new DB. I have created the tables and store procedures in this new DB database. Test connection is succeeded. Okay. And here we got our connection string, and the connection string name is a new DB entities, and I'm saving this connection string in the web.config file. Click next. Now the next step, from the database objects, I'm selecting the tables and store procedure. I'm expanding the tables folder as well as DBO. The tables are city, country and state. After that, come to the bottom, there is a store procedures and functions folder. Expand that one as well as DBO. Our store procedure name is a multiple tables insert. I'm selecting that one also. So here I have selected 3 tables and 1 store procedure. Click finish. And here we got our entity model, city, country and state. And also, if you notice the model browser, the store procedures and functions folder, expand that one. Notice the multiple tables insert, the store procedure name is added. Now the next step, open Solution Explorer. Let's minimize the references folder. Let's create a class in this models folder. Right click the models folder, add, select the class, and the class name is multiple tables insert is the class name. Add, and here we got our class. Now in this class I'm adding the public properties, public string. The first one I'm adding the country name, which is a C name, get set public string, S name for the state name, get set, and the last one is the public string city name, get set. After adding the properties, the next step will add the API controller in this controllers folder. Right click the controllers, add controller. I'm selecting web API to controller empty, add. The controller name is insert multiple tables is the API controller name. Add. And here we got our API controller insert multiple tables. Now in this controller, first I'm importing the namespace using the project name is web API insert multiple tables dot models folder. After that, I'm adding public action result, HTTP action result. The function name is insert records. Now in this function, I'm adding the class name multiple tables insert class, this class name. Let's create the object empty. So now inside this method I'm adding the first step, I'm adding the connection string entity name, which is a new DB entities, NB is equals to new DB entities. After that, ND dot, I'm adding the store procedure name. Our store procedure name is a multiple table insert, and this store procedure takes 3 parameters: string, all of strings. So empty dot, I'm adding C name, comma, empty dot S name, which is a state name, and the last one empty dot city name, semicolon, ND dot save changes method, return OK method. That's it. We have added the code to insert records into multiple tables using stored procedures in this API controller. Now before consume this web API in MVC, first we require the web API URL. For that, let's browse this web API Google Chrome. And here we got the default output of the project, which is a home page. Now we require the web API URL of this host. After the host, I'm adding / API, the folder name / I'm adding the API controller name, which is insert multiple tables. Let's copy that API controller name. I'm adding API controller. Enter. And here it's showing some error message. The requested resource does not support HTTP GET method. The reason, we are posting the data, so we are implementing HTTP method post. So don't worry about this error message. Just we require this API URL. Let's switch back to the coding part. Stop debugging. Now let's open Solution Explorer. Now in the same controllers folder, I'm adding MVC controller to consume this web API. Right click the controllers folder, add controller. I'm selecting MVC file controller empty, add. The controller name I'm giving multiple tables insert. Empty insert is a controller name, add. And here we got our controller empty insert. Now first thing, let's import the namespaces using the project name is web API insert multiple tables models. After that, I'm implementing HTTP client class to consume web API. So we require the namespace using system.net HTTP. And now I'm creating a new action result index method for HTTP post. Copy this one. And this is the HTTP post method. In the action result index, I'm adding the class name multiple tables insert class MTI. Now after that, I'm adding HTTP client class. It is a name object name new HTTP client. base address is equals to new URI method. This URI method takes string parameters. So in these double quotes, I'm adding the URL of the web API. Paste it here. The next thing, after we consume the web API, variable insert record, or this is a variable name. Post as JSON async. I'm adding the class name multiple tables insert class. It takes two parameters. The first one is a string URI. I'm adding the controller name, web API controller name, which is a insert multiple tables, comma, and the second parameter is a value of the class name MTI. This variable I'm adding. Insert .wait method. Once the records are inserted successfully into those tables, I want to display the message. For that, I'm using viewBack.message is equals to values inserted successfully. That's it. We have consumed the web API in this MVC controller. Now we require the view page of this action result index. Before adding the view page to this project, we must build the application first. Build solution. And here we got a message, build succeeded. Let's close this output message box. Select the action result index, right click the mouse and add view. The view name is index and the template I'm adding create. The create template is insert the records, and the model class, our model class is a multiple tables insert. So let's check where it is. Here it is, a multiple tables insert class. I'm not adding any data context class. Click add. And here we got our index view page with the create template. And now I'm changing the header tag index, insert records into multiple tables using web API. H3 MVC web API tutorials. This one is using stored procedure. Horizontal line. Let's put this one in the center tag. I'm closing the center tag after the due tag. And now we need to add the view back message from the controller. View back message, copy that one and paste here after the due tag, h1 tag at viewback.message. And I'm changing the button control label to insert values. That's it. Now before run this application, the most important, we have to change the controller name. Open Solution Explorer. I'm expanding the app underscore start folder. Notice there is a route config.cs file. Open that one. Notice the controller name is a home, which is a default one. I'm deleting that one. Our controller name is a empty insert, is the MVC controller name. Let's add that one. And the action result page is the index view page. This is the index view page. Let's check the output. Google Chrome. And here we got the final output, the header tags to insert records into multiple tables using stored procedures in web API. Let's insert the values, the country name, state name and city name. I'm adding the country name India, the state name is Karnataka and the city name is Bangalore. Let's insert the records. Insert values. And here we got a message, values inserted successfully. Let's check in the database table. First we'll check the city table. We have insert the record in the city table in the Bangalore. Let's execute. See, here we got the city name Bangalore is inserted successfully. And now the state table, the state is Karnataka. Let's execute. See, here we got Karnataka. And the last one, the country table. Execute. The country is India. That's it. We have consumed web API in MVC to insert records into multiple tables using stored procedures.